as we get set to go with heat number 1 of the 250 class. And in this one will be one of those championship contenders, Kevin Windham. In the other will be his rival, Chad Reed. There's Windham on the 14 bike, front and center there, the Honda CRF 450. The AMSOIL-sponsored machine. Windham out of Mississippi. And we sweep across the start there. Isaiah Johnson on the 198. These guys now their turn to get nervous and get it on, as we say. Ricky?
We saw Travis Pastrana so excited about this race. But Greg, what do you have for us?
Well, Jeff Stanton, who works with the Honda team, told his guys line up just to the left of the Honda box. That's going to give you more of a straight shot into turn 1. And when you get there, roll out of it just a little so you can dive on the inside, just like James Stewart did earlier in the 125.
Well, if you can do what James Stewart did, the board is sideways, get through that first corner second. James Stewart's qualifying time was 25 seconds faster than Steve Lancer.
With fireworks added by the promoters, the fireworks in 250 are underway. Kevin Windham with the whole shot into turn number 1. Half the field, it seems like, running wide, but in fact only one rider off the racetrack. Windham's out in front, but not by much.
Pastrana got bounced around a little bit. Jeremy Israel with and Travis Pastrana just taking the words right out of my mouth. Went from 5th to 2nd in one stretch of whoops. Unbelievable.
Man, oh man, the comeback of Travis Pastrana has certainly gotten off with a bang here as he went from 5th to 2nd in one little straightaway behind Kevin Windham. Now, is Windham ever going to look back, or is somebody going to have to tell him that the 199 is coming?
Oh, no, Kevin will know. Kevin's one of the riders on the 4-stroke 450. Kevin manages the power very well, but Travis Pastrana has not ridden since the opening round of the 2003 National. Been out with a knee injury, re-injured it in freestyle. Then now this is his first race back and looking very, very strong.
Well, Kevin Windham did what he had to do, get out in front, but he has not had to contend with Travis Pastrana for over a year. So Windham may remember, he may not, how to race against this youngster if he gets up to him.
Well, you know what I call Travis Pastrana is a 6'3" Bob Hanna. He lets the bike swap side to side. It doesn't worry him. That's his comfort zone. We're watching the different riders. David Villemin and Jeremy Israel having a very, very strong start and running out there. So it's good to see some different riders up there in the mix.
Villemin on the number 12 machine that we looked at right there, the blue Yamaha, but 4 riders and 4 only transfer out of this one. So Windham looks good. Pastrana looks good. Perhaps his fitness, his endurance might be at issue. If he just gets out into a second position like this, will he play it safe and say, okay, fine, I'm going to get into the main, I'm not going to wear myself out?
But when he talked in the opening ceremony, he was saying, well, you know, I haven't raced that much, and he's a very humble character, but he said, yeah, I want to win. But you know what? This is a different Travis Pastrana than I've ever seen. Very smart, not trying to jump everything, not trying to impress everybody. I think he's going to watch Kevin Windham, learn from him, and then come back and give it everything he's got in the main event.
Well, Villemin in 3rd position, and the 4th and final transfer position right now going to Keith Johnson as they crossed the line the last time.
Yeah, my mistake. I thought that was Jeremy Israel, but that's Keith Johnson out there from the East Coast. Keith Johnson, we got 2 of them. We got one from up northeast, and we also got one from New Mexico. Keith Johnson making his debut out here and running very strong.
Again, only 4 transfer. If you're just joining us, we had 9 transfer out of the 125 heats, but only 4 in the 250s. They go to a second round in semis, and then finally a last chance qualifier. Looking at the 12 machine of David Villemin right now.
David Villemin was one of the only riders to catch, chase down, and beat Ricky Carmichael last year, but hasn't been able to put it through. He was in that controversial scuttle with Kevin Windham at Phoenix. You know, he chopped Kevin chopped him harder. David went flying. They docked Kevin 10 points, but in the rebuttal they got that back. Now we're watching Grant Langston out there. A little interesting. Running that little E helmet. He's got the 8, so he's running a little bit of stock car. Maybe he's looking for a little favor down here in Daytona.
Nathan Ramsey holding the 4th and final transfer position. This is a battle for 5th. They have to settle the issue with each other before one of them can set out after Ramsey and try to get into the main event here from the heat.
Now, I've been in this position. You get a great start. You're running strong like Kevin Windham, and now all of a sudden you see a guy that hasn't raced in over a year chasing you down. You're doing everything you feel is right, and you're watching this 6'3" kid chase you down and now all over your back fender.
Windham and Pastrana nose to tail right now. Windham still riding in a very controlled fashion. He hasn't panicked under any circumstances, but Pastrana can put panic in you if you haven't felt it in a while. Just being back has given everybody a thrill.
Well, Pastrana said in the past that he feels that Kevin Windham is the world's best rider. So smooth, so slick, but now he's learning from him, and let's see what he does with him. Kevin looks like Travis got a little more speed. I was amazed at how fast he went at the test track this week, and it's showing that it's not a fluke.
Well, I was going to say, you've been with him for this last week when that decision to come here and race was made. So what is he doing here?
Well, he's racing, man. He went out there, did motos, looked strong, was fast, and he's putting it all together.
Kevin Windham in the air and just in front of Travis Pastrana right now. 3 laps down, heading for the finish of 4. It is going to put 4 riders into the main event.
It's one thing for Travis to follow Kevin this close, but if he can catch Kevin and pass him, that will give him such an emotional boost going into this main event. But you notice, you see, Travis isn't taking chances. This is not the old Travis that we used to see before, that it was checkers or wreckers. He's out there to learn, and I think he's going to be strong in that main event.
A 7-lap race to qualify only 4 riders. Pastrana banking it off the berm behind Kevin Windham right now, and I think Dave Despain has something to add to all of this.
We had Beatty Coombs on the other night from Racer X magazine, sort of joining the general opinion, I think, about the unpredictability of Travis Pastrana. A little bobble right there as he tries to reel in Windham. His take on it was, Travis Pastrana could go out and win this race or go out and finish dead last, and neither would surprise me. I think that volatility is what gets this crowd so excited as they watch this kid. These people are going bananas as he gets up there to race with Kevin Windham.
Our esteemed colleague Dave Despain up in the Victory Lane building. We'll be hearing from him from time to time. Right now, we're hearing everything we can stand from Kevin Windham and Travis Pastrana. Stay with us.
877-99 Steel.
Welcome back to the Daytona Supercross by Honda under the lights at the Daytona International Speedway. Kevin Windham, Travis Pastrana getting into the lappers already very soon as Windham is still out in front. Pastrana's been hounding him for several laps. Got up to him pretty quick, has not been able to make a move just yet. Greg White. Well, we'll catch Greg in just a moment. He had something to add as Windham has gotten past a couple of lap riders pretty quickly. Are they going to balk Travis Pastrana up a little bit? No.
Well, they're not hurting Travis. Travis is getting through him well. But Greg, what do you have for us?
Well, first thing, Kevin Windham, I spent some time with him last night, and we talked briefly about how this track is more like an outdoor national than any other track they go to in the Supercross series. He was real confident. The second thing is on Travis Pastrana. We went to his pit and wanted to get a hold of him, but he was back at the hotel. The Suzuki team wanted to keep every bit of energy in him as possible, and my question is Travis going to spend the extra energy to catch Windham, pass him, and win this, or just make it to the main event?
Well, if you know Travis Pastrana, like everybody knows Travis Pastrana, he's going to give it all he's got. But he is learning from Kevin. He has a world of respect for Kevin. These two guys rode for Suzuki the year before, and they raced together. As you can see him, he's learning from him. Even though Travis is known as the best freestyler, he knows that Kevin Windham can put sections together.
Oh, Kevin Windham just made a mistake that handed Travis Pastrana the lead. So Windham, who was riding flawlessly up until that point, now we'll see if Pastrana can handle the pressure on this final lap. They have just switched positions and are so far in front of everybody else, about 18 seconds in front of third place, but they just swapped spots.
Kevin Windham lost rhythm. That's where Brock Kepler had trouble. That's what you try to do is stay on top of all those tabletops, and now Travis Pastrana swapping side to side. Some people might look at that as a mistake, but like I said, this is a 6'3" Bob Hanna who lives in that swapping side-to-side zone.
Travis Pastrana, one of only a couple of riders to win in 125. Checkered flag is out, and Travis Pastrana gives us a little taste of some of that freestyle. Kevin Windham, a more subdued finish behind him. Both will go to the final, along with the next 2 riders to finish, which should be David Vuillemin and Nathan Ramsey.
Right now, a battle between, I think it's Keith Johnson and Grant Langston making a sudden move. And then Ramsey goes up, and I'm at a loss for words.
It's Vuillemin and Ramsey that hold off Langston, but what a wild finish there between Nathan Ramsey and Grant Langston for that final transfer position. We'll take another look at the lead as Travis Pastrana mounts the podium there. Here's what happened to the number 14, Kevin Windham.
I told you cannot relax here at Daytona. Those grooves don't look like much, but he was a little bit off to the side, overjumped that just by a hair. And when you put even the world's best rider 2 inches off to the left, that's trouble.
So Travis Pastrana ends up with the win. Those tough blocks don't give you an inch. Even if you land on top of them, they're a whole lot different than the dirt. Let's go to Ralph Shaheen.
Well, you were wondering why maybe you came here to Daytona. I think checkered flags was the reason, and you got one. And the big difference was getting through that rhythm section the last time. How did you catch him and pass him?
Really, it wasn't up to me. I was just riding pretty much as hard as I could. K-Dub messed up that rhythm a little bit. Hopefully put a little pressure on him, but
Man, Kato's an awesome rider. I'm just stoked to be here. This is great.
You know, you took a lot of time today to rest and relax and get yourself up to speed physically for this race. Now, the heat race is in the books. How do you feel, and do you have enough energy left to do the same thing in the main?
Oh, don't tell anyone, but I'm spent. No, it should be good. I'm going to get out there and give it my all. Hopefully, if I can stay with them, halfway, I'll be able to pick it up towards the end.
What are you going to do now to relax and get that stamina built up for the main?
Go back and go to bed. Maybe watch James Stewart. That guy's amazing. Pissing me off.
He's moving on.